Hi everyone, this is Dr. Pat. Have you ever heard the phrase, it's as if I have holes in my pockets? Usually somebody will say that if they can't account for all the monies that they have collected that has passed through their hands because they have nothing to show for it. And then you'll have some persons by the very same contrast where they get a fraction of that money that these people would have gotten, and yet still they would have accomplished so much that you can see with it. Okay, so that's why they feel as if they have holes in their pockets, and so every time they put the money in the pocket, the money keeps on falling out, so there's no money to use. This phrase is actually a biblical phrase, and it comes from the book of Haggai, and it's actually God who said it. Now, it's interesting to understand the context in which God said it. Let's read it. Haggai 1, verses 3 to 9. Then the Lord sent this message through the prophet Haggai. Why are you living in luxurious houses while my house lies in ruin? This is what the Lord of Heaven's army says. Look at what's happening to you. You have planted, but harvest little. You eat, but you're not satisfied. You drink, but you're still thirsty. You put on clothes, but you can't keep warm. Your wages disappear as though you are putting them in pockets filled with holes. This is what the Lord of Heaven's army says. Look at what's happening to you. Now go up into the hills and bring down timber and rebuild my house. Then I will take pleasure in it and be honored, says the Lord. You hoped for rich harvest, but they were poor. And when you brought your harvest home, I blew it away. Why? Because my house lies in ruins, said the Lord of Heaven's armies, while all of you are busy building your own fine houses. Wow, it's interesting how God really got so upset. Now, if we were to look at it within the proper context, you see that church ministries are really suffering, and the church is God's house. Remember now, the church is the people and not the building. The ministries are suffering because they don't have enough people to help them to bring about the mandate that they have, that God has instructed them to do. Now, sometimes you go to church ministries and you see, like today, one set of people in the ministry, and tomorrow you see the same set of people. You say, but hold on, didn't I just see you in that particular ministry? What are you doing with this one? Yes, you will see them simply because there aren't enough persons who are participating in the ministries. And so you have the same handful of people who are being recycled all the time. That is not right. God is getting upset because people come and warm the benches and they want him to bless them and they want all kinds of stuff from him, but we give back nothing in return. And he's very, very upset about that. Now, you have another problem where God has instructed us to give our tithes to the church. There are people who are upset about that again. Why do I need to give the church my tithes? How do I know that they're going to do with it what they ought to do with it? That has nothing to do with you. The church did not instruct you to give the tithes to them. It was God who instructed you to give the tithes to the church, because there has to be a physical place for the physical money to go. You make God deal with him and his church. You want God to bless you, so don't worry about it, just obey him. Now, Deuteronomy 8:18 tells you that you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to get wealth. You notice? Remember him. Do what he says. It is he who gives you that power, nobody else. So leave the things alone, right? We spend too much time nowadays trying to chase after the blessing. Why? That is not biblical. And this is why we're so tired and we're so stressed out. That is not biblical. That is not what God intends for us. He intends for the blessings to come upon us and overtake us. Deuteronomy 28:2 tells us, and all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you because you obey the voice of the Lord your God. You have to obey his voice. You have to listen to what he says, because if he's the one who gives you the power to get wealth and you disobey him and he gets upset, you're not going to get the wealth. You tire yourself out and you reach nowhere simply because the provider of the wealth is not releasing the wealth. You are supposed to have the blessings chase after you, not you chase after the blessing. So if that is happening, stop. You know that you're doing something wrong. Read the word again and change your focus. Change what you are doing. Get involved in God's house. See, He said it in Haggai. He's so upset. Your house must look good. Your house must look pretty. But his one is neither here nor there. Yet still he's the one who provides for you to get all the pretty houses and all the pretty cars and all the pretty everything that you want. And you can't spend any time to deal with his thing so that he can bless you even more. Read it again. And let us see if we can turn around things in our lives where the blessings begin to overtake us instead of we chasing after the blessings. We talk again soon.